I love these fruit snacks, dog. These are gotta be the best things ever. So I recently uploaded a video talking about the fan toxicity surrounding Pokémon Legends of Arceus, and I discussed a lot of my fears about viewer input about the game. You know, I've been seeing a lot of things online about how people hate the game and about how people are negatively looking at the game, so I kind of wanted to have a discussion about that in my previous video, and the input was off the charts. You guys showed me so much love in that video. There was a lot of amazing things to pull from that, so I really wanted to make a follow-up video discussing all of your thoughts and putting it on the channel for everyone to see and to talk about here. You know, there are a lot of great opinions there. There are a lot of positive mindsets there as well. So I really just want to put this out here and discuss it because that's what this channel is all about, is having an amazing conversation, and I really love to commentate and talk about things like this, especially with Pokemon Legends of Arceus being one of the most ambitious games from the Pokemon Company coming out this year. This goes without saying, of course, that I really want to create an environment that's positive and impactful, and an environment that we can all share our discussions positively with each other, even if we disagree. So if you see these commenters, please make sure not to attack them. I don't want their opinions getting attacked, even if you may disagree with it. I really promote positive discussions here, you know, discussions where you can all come to your own conclusions and just discuss why you feel a particular way about that. So if you want to join the conversation, make sure to hit that comment section down there and let me know what you think about Pokemon's Legend of Arceus, and if any of the opinions you see in this video today align with yours. I'm really interested to hear what all of you have to say. So El Toro Lucky Patient Zero said on my previous video, "It's too soon to tell, but I barely realized that I can love a game and acknowledge its faults. I hope the game does not have too many faults, but I'm sure I'll love it anyway." And I like this. You know, I do agree that games are going to have faults. I think it's not a good game if it doesn't have a couple of niches here or there. You know, there's no true idea of perfection. Perfection is very imperfect, if I should say, and I know that's a very ambitious thing to say, but I just think that a lot of people want this game to be 100% when never is a good game 100%. You know, there's always going to be a glitch, there's going to be a fault, there's going to be even like a bug that appears here and there, and some of those things get hashed out, but I just don't want people to over expect that this game will have just no fault problems whatsoever. You know, it is Game Freak and Pokemon Company's first time with trying to get this type of game done, and I expect there to be some trial and error bugs. Hopefully nothing game breaking, but you know, I'll try to enjoy the experience while I can with that new game release. So we have a comment here coming from Owl that says, "Yet people buy Pokemon games like iPhones and it always sells." Now I think that this is a very good point, and Owl has a very a reasonable understanding of this. You know, I think that this is fair to say because it's true. New Pokemon games drop all the time, and while the community is upset with it, this is the same community that still goes out and buys the game, and I think that it is a very reasonable thing to do. You know, just like the iPhone, a lot of people grew up with the iPhone. A lot of people have this gravity towards it. You know, it's that Apple logo, it's that sleek design that keeps pulling people back, and they have just had so many previous iterations of iPhones, or they have just enjoyed one specific thing about another iPhone that they feel like they're a part of that brand. And that's one thing that branding really does to a society or a group or a community. You know, it pulls people in even if the iterations aren't exactly that good. And this is true coming from a guy that literally owns an iPhone XR. Like, I love iPhones, but I also can see the faults and where they shouldn't be dropping a new phone because it improves very little, you know, and the same can be applied to Pokemon games. There's just this love with Pokemon games, you know, the classic retro games hold such an amazing zest to it, and it just really feels odd that that can't be properly replicated. You know, maybe it's because we've always been playing these types of games and we're so accustomed to them that it feels like we just want more and more and more, and that's what society, for the longest time at least, as video game publishers pushed for, have been wanting to aim at doing. And now it seems that we've hit this kind of line, you know, where graphics are at an all-time high. You know, we've seen a lot of the same ideas being used and recycled, you know, with like Fortnite and with freaking Apex Legends, you know, with the battle royale genre. You get what I'm saying. A lot of stuff we've already seen before. We're kind of hoping to see something new, and I think that's what the community of Pokemon is looking for. Do I think that we'll find something new with this new game? Of course we will. They're taking it in a whole new direction. Will it work? I'm unsure. We'll just have to see until the game's released. But Al does make a very fair point point that a lot of people come back to Pokemon like it's an iPhone every single time, but I can understand why. You know, it's their beloved series and they really don't want to see it die. So next up we have Sobble Wobble. I was absolutely hyped for Sword and Shield, then it was an absolute letdown. I've never had that kind of feeling. I now know the feeling of when people say keep exceptions low. Close to Arceus, it's going to be fun, I hope. Well, I agree with that 100%. You know, I get the idea of disappointment, and to me at least, Sword and Shield was a playthrough. You know, I played through the game. Was the story good? But you know, I think they definitely did measure up to their whole wild area experience, and that aspect of the game was definitely new. I also think that Gigantamaxing was something that was very unique. While I wasn't too big of a fan of it, I really prefer Mega Evolutions myself. Lucario, I miss you so much. I still think that they did a good job with that game. You know, there were a lot of smaller things like the trees and like how some of the water looked and how some of the maps were built went along, and of course the story itself being kind of here and there towards the end. I still think that that game was still worthy. You know, a lot of people will throw stones at me for that, and go on ahead, do it, that's fair. But that game didn't really set my expectations way too low. But on the expectation low part, I think it's important to poke that out, is that this is becoming a standard in video games nowadays. I even expressed this in my video previously, where I talked about the idea of low standards for every single game that releases. And I feel like if we do that, we're going to be walking down a path where we're going to hate every video game because it just didn't meet that bar, which is constantly rising and rising and rising as we see these new genres and new developments and new graphical and sound improvements to these other games that are being released. And we're not focusing on what's being added in the current state from what we didn't have before, you know? I'm not giving Game Freak or the Pokemon Company any room to slack off here. I do think that there could be some major improvements made to make these games better, but I really don't want the community to set the bar too low, because then we'll start to hate and not enjoy video games. And what's the point in playing if you don't enjoy it? You know, I fought with that thought myself. So I really appreciate your input there, Sobble Wobble. Thank you for sharing your comment here, and I'm glad to have you available here on the channel. And last but not least, we have John Barnes. Hey man, I'm so freaking excited about Legend of Arceus. I've been a fan since Gen 1, and this is so great. This is the biggest departure from formula ever for Game Freak, and the naysayers need to chill out. I got my pre-order for Christmas and I will be playing ASAP. I agree with that. You know, I haven't pre-ordered the game. I plan on maybe getting that game beforehand. If there's like a deluxe edition, I'll definitely go out and grab that. But I think the naysayers have a point too. I really like to sit and look at both sides. I like to be fair and just see what the other side has to say. I'm obviously on the side of give it a chance, but don't give it too much of an opportunity to where, you know, they get away with some crazy stuff like that. But you know, I think it's all fair. The new formula for this game is absolutely amazing. I think the direction that they're taking it in is something that's really cool. This old-timey vibe where everything is new. You know, the discovering of Pokemon, the new old like Pokédex system, literally going out and fighting an Ursaring to death and getting beat the hell out of because you cannot beat that thing yet. It's such a unique experience, and we haven't really had that many overworldish kind of Pokemon games where you can see everything right before your eyes. They've been really trying to implement that, you know, with Sword and Shield, and they even put a little bit of tidbits in there for the new Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl games, but it hasn't been like a 100% thing right there. And I think that that's going to be something that really pushes the community and makes it a very thoughtful and enjoyable experience for multiple people. I mean, that's what people were happy about when they saw it in Sword and Shield. So I think that that will play off, and that will have a dramatic effect on how we enjoy this game. But again, John Barnes, thank you for coming onto the channel, and thank you for putting your comment in. It was really good to commentate over that and discuss your thoughts on the game. But overall, that is going to be all for this video today. If you want to leave your suggestions here, let me know down in the comments below. I really plan to, you know, just talk about this with the community. And if you guys want me to do another video where I post your comments up here and we sort of discuss this whole Pokemon Legends of Arceus thing before the game releases, I would love to do that again. Just let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button so that we can grow on this channel. Again, I'm aiming for 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I know it's going to be a very, very big leap, but I think we can do it, and your support would be greatly appreciated. At the end of the day though, thank you all for watching this video and have a good one.